When did you realize that being yourself wasn't safe? That's what we're talking about on this week's episode. Welcome back to the 3-Minute Pause podcast. I'm Manisa, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. And today, I want to talk about how we abandon ourselves in order to keep ourselves safe so that others don't leave. But also by the end of the episode, I really hope to help you catch that moment right here where you catch your breath and you inhale just a little bit, 1 second before you're about to change who you are to please the people around you. And hopefully we can not only find that moment and identify it, we can also stop it. You might not actually remember the moment where you learned that being yourself wasn't safe. We don't always remember it. There are many moments that are crystallized in our minds of times where we had to edit ourselves or had to shrink ourselves. But it isn't one big moment necessarily. And those moments that we remember when we had to edit ourselves, well, that's because we knew that we had to do that to stay safe, right? You don't change yourself to please other people around you unless you read that is something you absolutely have to do. Otherwise, they're going to reject you or abandon you or punish you. And when I say that they're going to do that, I mean it on a really deep level. That if you laugh out loud, show who you are, express yourself, say how you feel, anything that you show or any way in which you express yourself that is 100% who you are and authentic to you, that other people then find unpalatable, not because you're unpalatable, even though that's the message you've gotten. The reason that they can't handle it is because it rubs against them or it makes them uncomfortable. And more often than not, it's triggering them. The thing that you're doing, let's say crying, if crying is the way that you express yourself, then when you're crying, it might be upsetting them in a way that they can't handle their own feelings. And so because they can't handle their feelings, they say to you, okay, you need to stop crying. Because if you don't stop crying, I'm not showing up to this conversation. I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to love you. I'm not going to show up and be present in our relationship. And those might not actually be verbal ways in which they say that. They could just very well be you start crying and they leave the room. Or you show an emotion and they go, or they sigh, or they roll their eyes, or there is this very quiet expression on their face. One tiny little raised eyebrow. You know it. You've seen it many, many times. You've experienced it. And so you change your behavior. And you think, okay, let me change this because otherwise they're going to leave. And so if the message you've always gotten is, hey, you need to change yourself because I'm going to stop loving you because you're too much or you're not good enough or you're too loud. Well, and I'm going to leave, then you're going to change yourself, right? None of us want to be without that connection. None of us want to be punished. None of us don't want to feel like we're not worthy of love. And so what actually happens is you have learned a long time ago how to take the parts of yourself and hold them back and be present in the world at the same time. Not 100% present, because you can't be 100% present and disconnected from yourself. But there are many parts of yourself that you are holding back consciously. And you're consciously holding that part of yourself back and trying to engage with the world at the same time. Wow, that is a remarkable skill. It is remarkable that you're able to do both of those at the same time. Yeah, it is remarkable. Necessary, I know, but remarkable. Because to be able to do those two things at the same time, it's huge. It's something that shows how determined you are to protect yourself, how capable you are of being split into two different directions, and how adept you are at holding both at the same time. Who knew that being called too much actually came with such a remarkable set of skills? So that's the positive take on it, okay? But what are the parts of you that you're losing? Because there's a cost to this. There's always a cost to this, right? If you're switching off parts of yourself, what's happening to you in the world around you? You're disconnected from the world around you. You have to be. You have to be. You can't consciously be holding this part back and engaging with the world around you. So you're disconnected from the world around you. You're full of anxiety, full of shame, full of heartache. And the shame cycle is so debilitating. It's so debilitating, that shame cycle. Because all it does is make you collapse internally. You collapse inside yourself. It's like you're collapsing on top of yourself. That shame cycle is this, and it's this internal criticism. I'm not good enough. I can't be here. I can't show up. And it's just critique after critique. And it's not just critique of how you're showing up. It's a critique of your body, of how you're standing, of how you're looking. It's a full critique of every single piece about who you are. It is not just a critique of that particular moment. It extends far beyond that moment. And that's a price that you pay, because recovering from that's hard. Yeah, you may be it may be a habit. You may be good at it because actually, I don't think you're good at it. I think you know how to recover from it because you've had no choice. You've recovered from it because you have no choice. But that doesn't make you good at it, nor should it make it something that we want you to be doing over and over, right? Nobody wants to have to recover from that. And so the story you tell yourself is, okay, if you are going to feel bad and you're going to leave me and you're going to stop loving me and you're not going to show up in our relationship and you're going to punish me, because essentially that's what it is. It's punishment, isn't it? It feels punishing anyway. It feels punishing when the person you love isn't going to show up, isn't going to make your favorite cup of tea, isn't going to love you in the ways that they always have, because you told the truth or you showed how you truly felt about something. If that's the case, then of course you're going to try and change who you are. Of course you're going to shrink yourself down. And when we shrink ourselves down, it's so internally painful. You can't hear. Sometimes you can't see. It feels so awful. You collapse inside yourself. You collapse on top of yourself internally, and it feels like bricks falling down like that. So you tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna hold back. I'm not gonna show how I really feel. I'm just gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay quiet. I'm gonna stay out of the spotlight. And internally, your body is doing the same thing. Your body's shrinking itself before your words can even get there. Before you've even made this conscious decision, your body's already reacting. Your body can feel. It's already picked up that nuance, that moment. The sigh, the eyebrow lift, the head turning in a different direction. Whatever the signal may be, there are signals. You have been flooded with those signals your whole life, and you can read them and you can see them. And those are the signals that are telling you, hey, the people around you are not happy with you, or they're not liking the version of you that's showing up. Do something different. So you do. So you listen. Because if you don't, they will punish you. They'll withdraw their love. Every time you choose the safer version over the real one, you lose so much. You disconnect from yourself. You have anxiety. The shame cycle that's flowing through your body, which you then have to recover from. Sometimes it can take a few minutes, sometimes hours. But the longer you have to stay disconnected, it takes days to recover from. You can't make decisions in the moment. It's impossible to have decision making because everything around you is based on who you are. So you don't choose what you want. You choose what they want. You choose what's going to make it easier. You choose what's going to make everybody happy in the environment. So you've disappeared. Now we're left with you completely disconnected from yourself. And yeah, you've learned that beautiful skill of being able to hold yourself back and try and show up at the same time. But the cost to you is being split in two. And being split in two doesn't feel good. You know this. You've been doing this a long time. Being split in two is so painful. And being split in two means that you are running around in every environment like this. And literally, what we want you to do is not be split in two, is we want to come home into one. That's the point of this, is to come home to one, to be one with yourself. So this week's pause is to pick one way in which you can choose you and come home to you. And by that I mean one authentic reaction, one time that you say no, one time that you don't people please, one time that you feel that moment where your breath goes, and you go, no, stop, pause, don't give in, don't shrink, don't change the words, don't change who you are. Hold that moment, breathe into it, and make the choice that every part of you is fighting and saying no, because it will, because you are going against what you've always done, and you're changing and you're resisting it. So resist it. It'll be uncomfortable, that's okay, you can handle it. And then do that thing that's different. Choose you, just once. Don't shrink. Don't make yourself smaller. And see what happens. And please come and tell me, because I think you're gonna love your newfound freedom to be you. Thank you for hanging out with me today. If this episode spoke to you, then please subscribe so others can learn to pause too. For show notes and more, please visit www.manizakimji.com.